2013 Ducati 1199 Panigale is a work of art for sure. Here are the specs. The entire package is anchored by the Super Quadro L-twin cylinder, 4-valve, Desmotromic, liquid-cooled 1198cc power plant. Ducati claims 195 horses with 98.1 foot-pounds of torque. It is fuel-injected with twin injectors per cylinder. This base model has a 2-to-1-to-2 exhaust with 6-speed transmission that comes standard with DQS, or Ducati's quick shift. It has a wet clutch with slipper built in. Up front you have 10-spoke alloy wheel with 50mm Marzocchi forks, fully adjustable, 4.72 inches of travel, 2 generous 300mm semi-floating discs with radial-mounted Brembos do the job of slowing down this Italian rocket ship. Out back, 10-spoke alloy wheels with a fully adjustable rear shock and single-sided swing arm, 5.1 inches of travel. Stopping power in the rear is provided by a 245mm disc with 2 piston calipers. Dry weight on this sport bike is 361.5 pounds and 90% of the fuel capacity, and you get a very light 414.5 pounds.
Well, it's not every day someone hands you the key to a brand new Ducati Panigale, but that was today. And when I say brand new, I'm talking this motorcycle had 5 miles on it. So we had a short window to go out and dump as many miles on it as possible. A variety of riding, from stop and go traffic, small neighborhoods, up to some very flowing uphill, downhill, 55-mile-an-hour roads. And then we took it off to the jewel of Southern California called Ortega Highway. And that's when this motorcycle really showed its personality. Its precise handling, it's got a very aggressive race-style seating position. I mean, let's face it, this motorcycle was based off of MotoGP technology, and it really shows when you start to open the throttle and turn the motorcycle from side to side. Let's break it down for you, chassis-wise. The suspension is very stiff, but it's great when it starts to turn. Now, the actual frame itself is kind of weird because the engine, the V-twin motor here, acts as a rigid part of the chassis. So you have a steering head and you have the subframe in the back. But they all work very well together. Let's step up to the power plant. Now, the motor itself comes with a claimed 195 horsepower, but with 3 fuel delivery maps. 120 horsepower is available in the wet map. In the sport map, 195, but it's more, the power is delivered lower in the RPM range, and then of course the race mode. And that also turns some things on and some things off, or reduces traction control and reduces anti-lock braking and all that kind of stuff. But the way the engine makes power is great on this Panigale. Just open up the throttle and you're going to get instant power. Even in the 120 horsepower map, it's still available horsepower. Now, let's move on to the ergonomics. Sitting on this motorcycle, it feels racy. It feels like the seat's up and you're sitting over the front of the bike. The force is on your shoulders. It's got wide bars and a really easy to read, fully digital dashboard. It's quite a treat actually to check out that dash and to see all the different functions that are available. I like the way the gear selector tells you what gear you're in. It's really bright and right in the middle in the sport mode. When you go into the race mode, there is speedometer, but it's very, very difficult to see. So for me on the street, I really preferred the sport mode the best because it had a lot of usable range down low. The vibrations, of course, are felt, but not really annoying. And it's a very loud motorcycle. So when you're at speed for quite a bit of time, I would recommend wearing some earplugs. You can still hear the exhaust just fine, and you can feel it as well, but you're just not going to get the fatigue and the sensations that are going to wear you out if you have earplugs. So it's the Ducati, it's the Panigale, okay? It's all the things that everyone's been talking about. If you're looking for the high-end sport bike, something that's really going to excite the soul, you've got to check out the Ducati Panigale. This one, even in base model, without the Öhlins suspension and the electronic, suspension stuff, bits and pieces, this is still one outstanding motorcycle. So check it out.